Let's start off 2023 as we mean to go on the bank in search of pike. Morning troops. Hey, my name's Mark. It's fishing for pleasure as always. That's why we do it, isn't it? And we're out on the banks for the first trip of 2023. Conditions are far from ideal today. We're going to have to put a lot of hard work in to catch some fish. It's not unfishable, but it's not ideal. I mean, the water's chocolate brown, it's bombing through, there's debris coming down all the time. But sometimes you have to bite the bullet and fish the conditions you've dealt with. I haven't been able to get out on the bank for 10 days, so itching to get out. It's almost light now. Got 3 rods in. As I say, the water's chocolate brown. I've had to reposition my middle rod 2 or 3 times just to get it right. Left hand rod, right hand rod, they're perfect. I'm not worried about them. As I say, there's a lot of debris coming down. Water's chocolate brown. It's a little bit higher than it should be. Not overly. It's more like it's summer level. So yeah, it's probably about 2 foot up. Yeah, it's bombing through, chocolate brown. I keep saying it, but it is. But I'm confident. Got baits in the water. It's a lovely day. Not going to be too cold. Well, I don't mind it cold, but apparently it's going to be about 8-9 degrees today, so quite sunny, which I don't want really. I'd rather a bit of cloud cover all day, but the water's chocolate brown, so hey. And how many times have I said that? I'm going to put a little counter at the bottom. So the bright conditions shouldn't put them off. They've got plenty of cover with the colour of the water, so that's in our favour. As I say, it's not unfishable. That's in our favour. You know, you've got to look on the positives, otherwise you'd never go. So we're gonna attack it. We're gonna catch some pike. The start of 2023 as we mean to go on. Let's have a look at this swim. Here we have it. Today's drain. Another day, another drain. Thought I'd attack a drain today because, I mean, this water is chocolate. I nearly said it again. This water is well up, well coloured, and the rivers around here will be worse. So that's the reasoning behind the drain today. I haven't fished this drain this season, so I'm hoping I'll winkle a few out. It's always been good to me, this swim in particular. So let's have a look at what we're doing today. And you can see the right hand rod. There's a whole mini bluey. Static dead, single curved hook, and that is in about 6 foot of water. And normally this time of year I expect that to be 3-4 foot at the most. There's about 6 foot there, 5 to 6 foot. I'm slightly over depth when we stop, not to stop the current and the sort of debris dragging the float down, but it's holding bottom. I've got no problem holding bottom, and it's not picking up hell of a lot of debris. The middle rod, as you can see, even though I've got the rod pointing towards the sky, so the last 2 foot, 18 inches to 2 foot of line before you get to the floaters, I can't get out of the water, so that's picking up a bit of debris every now and then. So every now and then I've got to sort that out. As I say, it's going to be an up and down day, lots of work. You've got to put in a bit of graft on these venues when they're like this. And on that rod is half a sardine, sorry, half a herring. Tail section, big herring, about 10 inches, 12 inches so I've cut it in half. So I've got a tail section on there, so the weeds just drag that float over, so I've got to reposition that again. And then on the left hand rod, I'm leisuring actually. I've got that about 20-30 metres downstream towards the bridge, 3 or 4 foot off the bank. Stuck that down in the margin. As soon as I got it, it was still dark. I can reposition that near bank, far bank, and that is a whole sardine on. As I say, I'm going to sort out that middle rod now, and then we'll get cracking. Well, we're 2 hours in and nothing so far. Conditions are not as bad as I thought they were. I mean, the baits have stayed in the water at least 20 minutes, half hour normally before I have to shift them around. Maybe they get caught up with a bit of debris or something, but on the whole, presentation wise, not too bad. Bit of washing on the line and on the hooks, but nothing that would stop you from hooking a fish if you actually got to run. No bites so far, nothing to pique the interest. The left hand rod, the leisured sardine, that went a minute ago and I thought, oh, we're in, but it wasn't, it was debris. So I've boosted the baits with sardine oil, hopefully that extra attractant in the water will get something to home in on them, because obviously with the colour of the water, it's not going to be a case of the pike seeing the bait, it's more of them sniffing them out, finding them. So room for chance with, you know, with 3 rods in the water. So nice pleasant day, you know what I mean, absolutely perfect. Need a fish, need a fish. How many times am I going to say that? This is going to be, oh, what? I've had 5 blanks in a row, so you know, I'm desperate for a fish now. Sell me salt to the devil. Sell me salt to the devil for a fish. Well, what would that be, eh? But you know, we're in room for a chance. Got water in the bait. Room for a chance. Got bait in the water. They're presented well enough. The pike are there. Hopefully they'll find them. Afternoon, troops. Another afternoon, another drain. Oh, it's the same drain. I've moved up about a mile downstream actually, so I'm hoping to try and find some fish, obviously. So it's yeah, no joy at the swim I was in. Usually quite a productive swim for me, but no interest at all. No signs of fish anywhere. No fry jumping or out scattering, and they do show themselves on this drain. So I was driving along, gone a mile, and then I saw some movement, so I've jumped in the swim. It's a little bit tight up on the bank for videoing and taking photos of your catch and whatever, but sometimes, yeah, you can't be a bit of a softie and think I'm going to pick an easy swim. You know, I've got an overhanging tree to my left, so I saw some fish movement. I can fish down to my right and I can fish out. So I've got plenty of water. There's plenty of space at the water's edge for playing fish, for free rods, for returning fish. That's all fine. There's no issue there. So it's just, oh, and I think I've got a little debris. How quick we get excited. I just saw the line on the top of my rod twitch, because obviously I've got the rods quite high because of the current and the debris. Saw a little twitch, but it was weed, so got me all excited. But we're in, we're fishing. Let's hope the second half of the day is more productive. So I'll run through the swim with you. I haven't changed any baits up. I've kept the same baits, but it won't be for long. I've got some eel sections in my bag I might use in flooded conditions. They might work a treat. So yeah, we're going to see if we can catch ourselves some pike now this afternoon. First 4 hours of the year were same old, you know what I mean? Will this be a 6th blank in a row? I don't know. I hope not. For you guys, I hope not. You know, I mean, how many times can you watch a blank? But it's real life fishing. Got fish to conditions. I mean, they were diabolical apparently yesterday and the day before, speaking to the bailiffs. So they thinned down a bit. So hopefully we'll have a few out this afternoon and into the evening. I'll show you this swim. Left arm rod just off that overhanging tree, whole sardine in about 4 foot of water, static dead. You can see the debris whizzing past, bit of washing on the line, but it's holding bottom fine. Middle rod, whole mini bluey. That's right, in the summer that would be the drop off. I'm fishing right off, just on the drop off mid channel. And then the right hand rod, again, the leisure dead bait. That's a whole herring. Got 3 rods in, all systems go, the sun is shining, all's right with the world. Just need a pike. Anyway, that's all we need. Well, had a couple of hours in this alternate swim now and still no joy. Conditions have improved a lot water wise, so you know it's not so dark and chocolatey brown up down this end. There's less debris. No fish though. So yeah, what do you do when you're on a run of blanks like this? I mean, I've tried to come to an alternate venue. Won it in the past. It's not always been prolific for me here, but it's been good, you know, without having anything fantastic out of here. I've always managed to winkle out a few fish in a day or some decent doubles, but today fishing gods are giving us an old pasting again, aren't they? You know, it's I've got completely different baits on that I've been using all autumn and winter now. I've just seen a fish move. Middle rod was mid-channel, and it's been mid-channel since I got here. And I decided to go cast it out to the far bank, and wouldn't you know it, I've just seen something cruise through mid-channel, just under the surface. It drives you up the wall, doesn't it? Yeah, so I was saying, I've changed all the baits up now. In the middle rod I've got an eel section, and that's about half an eel head section. I've got that, so that's over at the far bank now. My right hand rod, I've got half a herring. I've cast that 30-40 metres downstream to the far bank. The left hand rod, I've still got tucked in front of that overhanging tree, and I think I'm gonna stick with it there. It's got to a stage now where I'm sitting here hoping for a run before it gets dark now. You know what I mean? It's gone. It's well gone 2 o'clock. I've only got 2 hours of daylight left. If they are going to start mooching about just before dark, I want one tucked in a sly spot that looks like it'll do a fish. The other 2 rods I'm just going to keep moving around to, hopefully, if I find anything. You know, normal procedure for me. Every half hour, different distance or different angle, move them around, change things up, boost the bait with a bit of oil. But at the moment, we're on another hiding. What did I say this morning? Start 2023 as we mean to go on, and I hope not. So we're got all the baits in position. You know, it's deadly quiet up this end. I mean, I haven't seen much wildlife either, though, really. I saw an egret earlier on when I was driving up looking for likely swims. I didn't see no kingfishers, no swans, no nothing. I've seen a moorhen with a few thrushes in the brambles to the right of me, but there's not a great deal happening at the moment. You know, I'm gonna be, if I had any, I'd be ripping my hair out. So we're I don't know, it's I know it disheartens you, but you just got to keep plugging on, especially if you've it's harder. This pike lark can be very hard, especially for new guys that are new to the sport. You're out and you're struggling all the time. It can, you know, get you down. You know it's winter. It's not like it's a sunning yourself on a bank. You know, it can be hard graft at times. But if you keep doing what you know's right, keep doing the basics properly, and then the fish should follow. You know, if you're out fishing in winter, if you're out fishing in the winter week in, week out, you're not always going to catch. And to my mind, though, it's weather today is more like October or November weather really than January, so I'm just hoping that there's some fish around. As I say, I've seen that fish move around in the middle of the swim. I've seen some silverfish topping as well, so it's, you know, it's not devoid of fish. Could be devoid of pike, but definitely not devoid of fish. So, as I say, I'm going to keep plugging away, and then hopefully we'll get a 20 or 23, a 20 and a 23. Start the year off. I'll be happy with a £3 jack, the run I'm on, but you know, keep plugging away. Hopefully it'll come good. Oh, and that's my right hand rod. Little beep there. But that's the leisure dead bait. Any debris in the water is going to hit that line and set off that alarm. So unless it goes, it's not a bite. It's not a fish. That's just a little bit of debris. But let's have a nice hot cup of coffee. See if we can nail one.